Rob Daly, back at you with another exciting episode of Backyard Motorcycle Builds. Here today we're working on my 1973 Honda XL250 Motorsport, and I can tell you, this right here, okay, this right here, my friend, this was no fun. This was broken off. I'm sorry you all missed it, but it was getting dark out here last night, and I said, let me just go ahead and pull all this off. This was where they had looped this sucker out and repaired it. But the problem, yeah, that came right off. However, these were in here. They were up in here. So how do you get those out? Well, you soak them with, I had to break out the good stuff, the aged fine wine that we don't normally use. Normally we just use this. We had to get out that, and then out in the oil field we use these for broken off little pieces of pipe that to extract the pieces of pipe. And I had a set of these, and lo and behold, two different sizes. One got one and one got the other one, and they both came out with a little bit of work. So yesterday we got the new controls on, new levers on. The clutch cable wasn't right. You got to be careful what you order online. If it doesn't come from Honda, it's kind of a guess. Now I can tell you there are a couple reputable places. I use eBay Motors, and that is where I got that from. But I didn't check all the fine print. You know what I mean? Normally when you go back and do that, it was my fault. So the clutch cable on this bike is still okay. The controls, the handle grips, and the levers turned out all right. The new shifter lever. We got to do something about the foot pegs. I sat on it yesterday, man, and I don't think I think I weigh probably 170, 180, and these and these shocks didn't go down at all when I sat on them, so we may need to do something about that. And they look like they're a little bit warped. I don't know, like a little bit out of shape. You know what I mean? That shock doesn't look like it's going straight up and down, does it? How about the other one? Anyway, today we're going to continue on our beautification. I did get the rear fender off. I did get the number plate, license plate off the back. I hammered some of that stuff back out straight. The pan underneath here, this thing's not in awful bad shape. The pan underneath it, you know, the license plate mechanism here was all jacked up. So last night I beat it back to shape and gave it a coat. Just gave it a coat of satin black. But I wanted to leave the El Cajon, the license plate that was on it. And I beat it back out in the bottom where it was looped out. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's take the front fender off, because we see it has a little issue. It can't decide whether it wants to be one fender or two. So let's see what we can do about that. And you guys stay tuned. It's a beautiful day in southern Texas. It's a great day to be sitting outside with the dog and the cat and all of you little maniacs. Huh? Working on our motorcycle. Get a good angle here. All right, guys, let's get that front fender off. And I did soak them, because the underneath you'll see is crusty. There we go. My fender is off. I'll show you here. Okay, that's riveted in. But anyway, you'll see. Hit that real good with the wire brush. Tinker those cracks back out a little bit and see what we can do about the Mondo. If this fender's even savable. We're gonna try it because we got more time than money, baby. Let's see what we can do with this. I've got a couple of little tricks up my sleeve. Let's see what we can make happen. One other little thing that I think we need to attend to is this was extra baling wire for being out in the desert, extra hose clamps, and another extra hose clamp that actually held the choke cable. I put a new choke cable up here. Where's she at? She's hiding up there somewhere. Ah, there she is. I think we're gonna just take all this off and try to beautify what we can. And maybe I need to look at this more of like a vintage race bike. Maybe it needs a number plate, and a number plate. But we'll see. Let's work on the fenders. Let's take this hoobity-doo-doo boo-boo out. And I do have also a 1974 that came with this bike. Here, I'll show you the tank to it here. It's this dude. 1974 Honda XL250. And it has a locked up engine. However, it came with an extra engine, but I do not have a wiring harness for it. I've got a lot of the components. I'm thinking that these two bikes, this one and the 74, might need to stay together. They've been together their whole life as far as I can tell, at least since they were a year or two old. So let's see what we can do with these fenders. I'll give you a little update here in a moment. All right, so rock and roll. We got both fenders off. We got this dude all hammered back out and got a nice coat of flat black primer on it. There's the other piece that went underneath the rear, and it has a broken screw. We'll have to tend to that. Got the rear fender hanging up. Gave it a quick sand in, fix a couple of little cracks, etc. And it's hanging up to paint. The front fender, well, that's going to be the end of this video. I ordered a new plastic welder to stitch the front fender back together, and it doesn't work. So there you have it, 1973 Honda XL250 Motorsport. I'm seriously thinking this thing needs to be a vintage dirt bike racer to enter in some of the vintage races and stuff. It still has quite a ways to go. If it was mine, I'd put a gold chain, I'd put new sprockets, new tires, clean up those wheels. Oh, it is mine. This one we're trying to do kind of on a budget. So we're just going to take some pieces off of it a little bit at a time, clean them up, see what they look like, put them back on. Only because parts for this bike are pretty much unobtainium unless you want to pay a lot of money. So the next video I'll show you how the fenders turned out. We'll put them back on the bike, and maybe we'll tend to the foot pegs. The shocks don't look that great. Maybe I just need to make it turnkey, guys, and let somebody else do it however they want. But for the next guy, I'm going to make it as easy as possible. So all of you have a badass evening and an even better tomorrow. More to come soon. Thank every single one of you for tuning in. Rob Daly. Peace.